afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast from your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. We're off here to a 1 vs 1 on crossing in the woods, as I like to call it, crossroads. In the south, it is Ed80hertz fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the... let's just go with 15th Panzer Grenadier Division. In the north, it is Stove. Fighting here for America, freedom and democracy. Taking on the role here of the 2nd Armoured. We got Storm doctrine immediately with ambush camouflage, regal mines, smoke bombs, howitzers, and Stuka bombing strikes with infantry or Panzer mine bullets versus urban assault, airborne, and armor company with triple bulletins there for Stove. Also, big thanks to Iron Dwarf for supporting the Propagandacast by donating and allowing me to, keep doing this day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. So, if you wish to, support me or like me and really wish to support me, you can donate or pledge on Patreon yourself. Links in the description. You'll find a link to either of those, which of course would be most appreciated here. So, big thanks to, of course, all those who have donated and support me throughout the years as well. All the way back to the action here. We got Riflemen down. We got Pioneers here trying to dig in by the eastern munitions point here, but already here, those Riflemen are coming down upon them. Pioneers charging forward to get into better distance to deal with the Riflemen. Of course, they will need support, since, otherwise the Riflemen will beat them very, very, very silly. And there you go, over here, the Pioneers are losing out. They're getting some damage done, but they're going to need support there to really have an engagement, remotely be sensible for them. Machine gun rushing here for the fuel pull in the north. Going to grab the core point here. Rifleman straight for the building here, possibly a slight miscalculation of 880hertz. He didn't expect his opponent to rush for that. Maybe just grab munitions like it's going to be a counter-attack. But obviously, Stowe had no intention of playing along to 880hertz's plans. Second one is going the way there for 880hertz in the German army. Second rifle squad moving in here. He will need to probably bring up the machine gun to back up the Grenadiers here. Otherwise, I think this is going to quickly turn against 880hertz, which is going to hurt him a lot. Haha. Pioneers reinforcing Grenadiers, not moving in support there. In fact, he's splitting up his forces right when Stove is concentrating his mega forces on what 80hertz has got here. Pretty awkward there. There we go. Got the machine gun on the move there. That's very good for 80hertz. That's crucial. In fact, Grenadiers still routed, overwhelmed by the sheer numbers that Stove has been able to bring to bear there already. Machine gun moving in. Need to be careful about it since he's now moving into more or less very hostile territory. It's technically his own, of course, but the problem is it's filled with Americans and not Germans. Pioneers, we're going to catch some rifle squad there. Pioneers will need to be pulled back again. Not sure what he's saying. The Grenadiers westward from the Pioneers should be doing that rather than the Grenadiers in here. Slightly weird opening there by Ed80hertz here versus Stove. I think it's currently roughly around top 50 or so with the Americans. Grenadiers heading westwards there for 880hertz. We've got racing moving eastwards there. Very good. That's going to be a clash. Machine gun flying back towards the fuel point there. Half point hit though. Grenadier or Pioneers reinforcing. Third Grenadier squad ready there for 880hertz. And there you go, Racings versus Grenadiers. Shots being fired there. And we got Riflemen westwards here to deal with 880hertz left side there harassment. More Riflemen here. They will probably get some fast take there from both sides. We got the company command post being upgraded there for Stove and activated. 880hertz with his own take there. So basically both going for 3 infantry squads. Of course, 880hertz also going for machine gun and then taking out. Standard approaches there. And the captain is out for Stove. He isn't taking losses. Need to focus down the rifle. But honestly, you should probably just retreat, to be honest. There's no chance here the Grenadiers have even remotely winning that engagement. And these counter-attack finally happening here versus Stove. Machine gun is sort of frantically moving about here. 880hertz is a bit unsure where to utilize it, it seems. Grenadiers Pioneers moving in here, trying to win that engagement as well. 880hertz certainly is ambitious and looks like this time around his ambitions may just pay off here. Versus Stove, the Riflemen are taking heavy damage. If you can get a wipe here, that'd be pretty big for 880hertz. Pretty big, that'd be a huge help here. Captain upgrade with BAR as well. Grenadiers here on their own there again. Lack of machine gun support, anything else is not helping out a ton. Banker up there for 880hertz. Captain moving in, need to deal with that first. Getting up some light machine guns Grenadiers would be a good idea that, or some fast Panzer Grenadier. Rifleman off here. Captain dodges it. Pioneers need to retreat. Close to getting wiped out. And machine gun there being flanked here by the Rifleman. Might be able to do some good damage there. No grenades here by the way on Stowe's men. Definitely gives him a good chance. There we go. Getting shredded. And a small chance of wipe here. Oh, yep. He actually gets the wipe. That's pretty big there for 880hertz. That's a significant blow here to Stowe in the early game. And should really allow 880hertz if he seizes upon this to really just get back some map. Stove here committing to airborne troops. An interesting move there. Some players do like the paratroopers and whatnot, but it is a bit of a rare sight for some. Back here though, troops moving about, bunkers standing up, but not much happening from it. We got the light mechanized combat there for 880hertz, probably a fast Pack 40 here. He has seen the captain, so he's probably expecting the Anti-aircraft traffic here. Machine in a bit of an awkward spot. Need to treat that one. Yep. Gets back there, reconnects the eastern cutoff point there. More grenadiers going in there for 80 hertz. Some upgrades for grenadiers, of course, would be very good as well in the shorter term. Before it's got the medic bunker up there. Like to make a nice company done. So far, lots of aggressive plays there. Stowe, of course, needs to be a bit more cautious now that he's short an infantry squad. He may, of course, be planning to make up for that shortfall with paratroops, but even then, that's going to take us some time. It will take a bit of while there to get going. Back here, though, healing, enforcement going on there. Pioneer setting up. Grenadiers launching the assault here to get the fuel point out of Stowe's hands. And we got Stowe here with the second wave of infantry moving in to sort of help put up the pressure around the fuel point. Pioneers going in there. Rifleman could perhaps be helpful. All of that, he's going to have to try and sort of flank up through the building here and get behind the outside of the Rifleman. And now, again, he's sort of in a tight spot. And once more, Stowe sort of splits off his forces there. I'm not entirely sure why he keeps sending the Pioneers towards the combat and not the Grenadiers. It does strike me as slightly peculiar there, but we got the 2-2 on the way. That's going to put pressure then on Stowe's infantry. That's going to be very good. And is their force weight, but he's going to lose the eastern fuel point once more. We got the MG4 moving up the Pioneers with sandbags. And the MG42, of course, getting the site there. They're going to be running right past and move towards the front line. Always a good and encouraging sight. Back here, healing going on. 2-2 almost done. Moving for the western fuel point. Should be able to grab it at least. Here's some sneaking about. Machine gun there holding up the front for now. And there you go. The 2-2's out here for 80 hertz. Good utilization of that. Could give him some real momentum here versus Stowe. Pioneers there. Got the captain moving westwards. Troops setting out, no upgrade yet for the Grenadiers. You may, of course, want to, add ambush camouflage to them before 2. That's a very good upgrade there. And there you go, Raisins being hammered by the 2-2 and being pushed back. Done here, moving ahead towards the fuel point. We got a full retreat here. And the near arrival of the 2-2 basically breaks Stowe there into full panic, as he obviously has no chance of dealing with that right away without them getting too close. And he's just the captain. Rifleman could work out, but I was getting the 2-2 over here. And we can see that now suddenly Ed80 hertz is really in control. Stowe, of course, already hurting in infantry. Now also has to contend with the 2-2, and he has no real counter to it. He could drop in an anti-tank and he could call in. But at the same time, there's just so much now here that Stowe needs. He does have the manpower that seems to be a bit of a command freeze here for Stowe. Bit of uncertainty there as 80 hertz is hitting him with everything the fatherland can master in the sector. And there you go, paratroops on the way. No weapons there. In fact, we got bazookas instead. Might just go for the regular built anti-tank gun there. Other paratroopers will prove to be a bit of a problem there for 80 hertz if they get upgraded fast enough. Question, of course, is where do they land? And they go right to the base, staying clear of the trees and the swirls within. Punch going to be away the 80 hertz now is in a much more dominant position. Again, the 2-2 just really gave him a huge boost there. Got telemines down the top, of course, deal with any vehicles there from Stowe. He's obviously expecting something like a half-track at the very least, and having a telemine down to deal with that would, of course, be quite beneficial there for 880 hertz. And put the hertz on Stowe. So now he's got all 3 victory points. He's got both fuel points. 880 hertz now has a sizable advantage here versus Stowe in terms of resource and momentum. We got more paratroopers called in. Like Stowe is just going hard on those paratroopers. The airborne. The screaming eagles, I guess, in this case. We'll obviously they will be screaming loudest, the Germans or the paratroopers. Grenadiers advancing here. Panzers are moving out here for 880 hertz. Good add ambush camouflage. Panzer Grenadiers appearing from ambush by way are quite effective. He's landing now this time around the car point. Stowe there is getting very aggressive against 80 hertz. Now looking to stop, really turn this around here. Could also add Thompson to one of his paratrooper squads. Certainly think Thompson right now will be effective. There you go, Rearsons being pursued by the Panzer Grenadier. Lead being spewed in the general direction, but the Rearsons do manage to get out of there. Resource to the west cut off there. Oh, no, actually not. Apparently it gets connected through this. Interesting. I got Thompson away from him. Panzer Grenadier as the paratroopers. M1 carbine for the Sturmgewehr 44. Geballte Ladung here to moving in as well. Their paratroopers will likely have to fall back here. And there you go, out in the open. They are now very much dead, man, if they don't get out of there fast. So right now, Stowe's got a lot of problems. Ed 80 hertz is in control. And he is not letting go. We got a pack forward in the way. The 80 hertz was really worried about any sort of light vehicle there from Stowe, any for that matter armor. Obviously, though, he learns to fear the paratroopers. 2-2 pursuing the other paratrooper squad there. Stowe really just trying to sort of slow down 80 hertz resource income and just trying to ensure he doesn't, like, get too far ahead there. MU42 they're hosing away, 4 kills, right next to Stowe's base. 80hertz is definitely getting much more bold and aggressive with his MU42 as well. Can pay off, and starting to make it harder for Stowe to make movements, but of course if he loses it, that could be a bit of a turnaround there moment possibly for Stowe. So what will Stowe go for next? We'll try and take up, but I do feel like he should probably be considering some anti-tank guns here versus 80hertz, and 80hertz should definitely consider just taking up fast for some medium armor. Grab the centre victor point here with the rifleman, moving up further west for the captain. We got a 3rd paratrooper squad. Good lord above. Stowe really likes his paratroopers, and he likes them the Thompsons. Now that's a man I can respect. We'll have to see if 80hertz will learn to respect him. Other gun is being routed here by the paratroopers, the Thompsons just spewing out endless amounts of lead. Here, paratroopers being finally pushed away here by 80hertz forces. Well, that was not the fresh one that takes around the base. Setting out the other way. Triple paratroopers. We'll obviously see what the air's going to upgrade. If you upgrade from all the Thompsons, though, that'll be a sizable assault force here, which could give 80hertz a bit of a headache, depending on utilized. But there you go. Bazooka team moving in here. Rifleman keeping the Grenadiers at bay, but we got Pioneers coming out, so they'll quick sweep away the rear slunts, but still, he keeps at it. Rifleman's got their push back. Bazooka's flying at the 2-2, landing some light damage, and meanwhile in the west, Stowe is reclaiming precious democratic resource in the form of fuel there. Most democracies are very much propelled by fuel. Paratroopers there standing about. Paratrooper squad moving out there as well. Not enough munitions for any further upgrades here for Stowe's Screaming Eagles. Paratroopers heading out there. Oh, retreating. Apparently it's like they want that one extra man to go on top of things. Will he be taking up soon? Possibly. Oh, he needs to upgrade one thing more before he can get that going. Paratroopers heavy fighting around the center. Grenadiers, Panthers moving in there. Go pineapple grenade. Grenadiers so easily dodge it. Mine goes off, though, ruining a bit their surprise. And there you go. The Panzer grenades are closing. The paratroopers get absolutely shredded here by the carbines. Before the paratroopers are falling back here in the west, we've got Cat versus Grenadiers. Grenadiers better extended. At 80hertz in response to this sudden elite intrusion is bringing up another machine gun to help keep their heads down, though of course taking up then bringing in Panzers would very much also solve that problem, I think. Suddenly this match has swung around quite a bit in just the first roughly 10 minutes of the game. We'll have to see if there's going to be any more swings here between 80hertz and Stowe. Paired to that, popping more grenades here. 80hertz gets out of there. Stowe really regaining some map now here versus 80hertz. The two moving in there, hitting at the paratroopers as hard as possible since they got in the way of punishing it. But there you go, Ralph's got flanking in there. Nice work there by Stowe. It's not going to be able to finish it off, but even then it's going to slow down the 2-2 and give Stowe more time across the rest of the front here as he just swarms ahead here. Going to do something what they can with a nice bit of an ambush, though usually want light machines on them as well. Trying to slow down the American advance, and they're going before to the rescue here from Ed 80hertz. Right from their squad, their pushback. Panzer's charging forwards, boosted by the ability of combined arms. Switching the attack to the rear slunts there, whose bazookas aren't really great against them. The captain there, 7 kills, virtually 2 holding the line up here, but will soon have to fall back as well. Meanwhile, though, Stowe's advance continues elsewhere. The paratroopers are laying down the law with a Thompson submachine gun. Take up there for Stowe, very good. No support call yet there for 80hertz. Definitely should be faster about that. I mean, an Austrian rush right now, I think, could seal the deal here versus Stowe. MD42, they're catching their paratroopers. They try to sneak about. 80hertz and the German army is having none of it. Take up halfway down there. Anti-tank and call in there by Stowe. Interesting pick he does. He would just call in a regular one, but I guess he just wants to preserve the manpower. Oh, at the same time, I feel like you should be prioritising the munitions high to like upgrade his paratroopers more, since I feel like if you get a lot of upgraded paratroopers, that could give 80hertz a bit of a hard time with his infantry, since like most of the Grenadiers have no upgraded weapons, and obviously really only leaves the Panzer Grenadiers, so the real challenge is any upgraded paratroopers. Need to retreat those paratroopers, though the MD42 of course is showing no mercy. Even got the 2-2 joining in there. To further convince Stowe, he needs to bring those paratroopers back home. Or 80hertz will be sending them home for him in a pine box. Going here for the Western victory point with the Grenadiers. Bravo squad moving on his own here, but right into some serious German resistance here. We got 2 Grenadier squads and the 2-2 here. And some aggressive sneaking about there by 80hertz behind Stowe's lines. Cheeky. Support McCall finally up there for 80hertz. Could have that out sooner. feel like that's a bit of a slight slip there of things. We'll have to see what he pushes for against Stove, though. Stove, though, is not too bad off this time around, though. He could probably pull off with a tank at a reasonable pace here versus 80hertz, depending on the circumstances. Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, machine guns moving about. The Major moving in towards the centre, of course, signaling to 80hertz that he's potentially got tanks coming in soon. So we'll have to see how that informs 80hertz decision-making progress. But at this point, an Ostwind rush is probably less of an ideal idea. Not a bad idea necessarily, but probably a bit less ideal. Panzer Grenadiers, the paratroopers, and the captain. Low on health for the Panzer Grenadier needs to retreat. In the east here, we got heavy fighting going on as well. The anti-tank got cleared out there by 80hertz Grenadiers. 2-2 there being assaulted by a bazooka team in a matter of moments. The action remains intense and ruthless. No mercy shown. No quarters given. Grayson squad about to get annihilated. We've got another 10 man down the 80hertz, and the resistance perish. The bazooka's lost. Stove could consider submachine guns now, and more of his paratroopers who would go for light machine guns. We'll have to see what it ends up with. And the 2-2 goes down into the paratrooper. The Thompson shredding what little armor was left on it. Now going for the Grenadiers and the Pioneers. Quick grenade here, need to retreat. I think the paratroopers though. But not before I guess they go for white down the Pioneers possibly. More paratroopers moving in. Still no sign of upgrades there. But the Grenadiers themselves are now in such a depleted state, I think even unupgraded, the paratroopers have a good chance against them. But there you go. Machine guns to the rescue here for 80hertz and the 15th Panzer Grenadier. Paratroopers, they need to get out of there. Back here, we can soon get the Sherman out there for Stove, and 80hertz has yet to push for any Panzers. He definitely should be getting those out soon. In fact, he should be hanging out for some time now. And there you go. Panzer IV on the way for 80hertz, but it's now going to be roughly, I think, at a very close pace there with Stove. In particular, we use the captain to then supervise it. He can actually get up, possibly the Sherman faster than 80hertz can get up his Panzer IV, which of course would be a bit awkward. Ooh, nice rifle grenade there, almost got the captain, and will in fact force a retreat. Back here, healing reinforcement, or not? Apparently it is. And there goes Sherman on the way. Will the captain be used to supervise? That'd be a great move there by Stove. Would be a powerful one. Paratroopers moving in here. More Thompson on the way. So clearly Stove is a disciple of the path of Thompson. The gospel of 45 caliber. Sherman on the way there. Halfway done. We'll use the captain to supervise it again. It would get the Sherman a bit faster, but in this case I guess not. Troops healing reinforcing. Panzerkampfwagen 4 mobilized here for 80hertz and the 15th Panzer Grenadiers. Machine gun out in the open, being assaulted here by the Major. Sherman almost down there for Stove. Western Fuel then being harassed here by 80hertz Panzer Grenadier. Very good, very good. Unless you're Stone, in which case obviously it's less good. Panzer IV charging in here for 80hertz. And the machine in fact getting murdered by the Major. That's going to be a bit embarrassing there for 80hertz. Just a bit. Sherman out here there for Stove. Grenadiers versus the paratroopers. They need to get a bit closer, and they can, I think, really give the Grenadiers there a good dressing down. Surprisingly, at this point, 80hertz still hasn't really upgraded with light machine guns, which certainly is something that stands out considerably, in particular with an increased sort of number of paratroopers with submachine guns. Sherman charges for the Panzer IV, but hits a telemine, causing heavy structural damage, and that Sherman is not going to come back home in one piece. Main gun out in the Panzer IV, anti-tank it could take it out with its high rate of fire. Panzer IV making a quick escape for it, and shot bounces. Oh, bad luck there for Stowe, but you know, should have had minesweepers about there, except he has no rear echelon. So good telemine there for 80hertz. Nice placement there, not the usual spot you'd expect. Knocking out Stowe Sherman and getting himself a tactical advantage there once more. We got smoke bombs in here for 80hertz to cover the retreat with Pack 40, but it may not be enough. It may not be enough. And the South paratroopers flanking in here. Ooh, could get a wipe here, possibly with a bit of extreme luck on the machine gun. Even then, the Pack 40 think it's not going to make it back home here. At least the crew won't. Grenadiers could also be in trouble. There you go, we got tactical assault. Oh! Grenadiers taking heavy damage. They're getting a bit lucky, I think, with some of the hits there. The Thompsons took a bit too long to turn around, but even then the Grenadiers suffer heavy damage. And there he goes, dealing the Pack 40 right outside 88's premises. Grenadiers with an upgrade are oh, they are absolutely dead here against two paratrooper squads with Thompsons. That is a death sentence for the Grenadiers. They just practically lined against the wall and executed here. Machine gun those managed to save the day just barely. Western field there is cut off and reclaimed by the German army. Good push there by 80hertz. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Third paratroop squad on the move again. No upgrades yet. He's going to have to get out of the tank and... Okay, apparently that went flying. Sometimes the physics engine leads to some really weird things. So right now, Stowe needs to reconnect his fuel, needs to deny to 80hertz before, of course, 80hertz just drowns him. And a number of tanks. I mean, he's already got enough, I think, resources for another Panzer IV. If he wanted to, he could also just go for an Ostman here. It's really just hit Stowe's infantry very hard and repeatedly. Also, he really needs to upgrade those Grenadiers with light machines. He's going for more ambush camouflage, though. I'm surprised he's going for that over the light machine guns. I mean, the thing is, light machine guns and ambush camouflage are really potent combos. That's, you know, why. I'm not saying you shouldn't go for the ambush camouflage, quite the opposite. It's just, it's really great with the ambush camouflage. Like, generally, you want units with a high rate of fire to have them. Light machine guns have a very high rate of fire with it. It's also why Panzer Grenadiers is great with ambush camouflage, because they have a great rate of fire. They can really benefit from the accuracy bonus it provides. Looks like these did not get fully reinforced. There's a slight slip there by Stowe, though not as big as Pioneers. And there go another Panzer IV there for 80hertz. Gonna use him as the captain. Taking some nasty hits there. And straight to a machine gun. Casualties abound, and there you go. Captain almost wiped out. Oof. That was a close one. But right now, 80hertz armor advantage is building up versus Stowe, who very much, I would say, possesses the infantry advantage. Double anti-tanks engaging the Panzer IV. This could be a bit of an issue there for 80hertz. Pack an M1 there, causing heavy damage to his Panzer IV, but it does escape. Barely. Had he been a bit slow to retreat there, that Panzer IV could very much has been a Panzer no more. Gonna use Panzer there in ambush. Very nice there. Can soon go for another Sherman. He might also, of course, go for Jackson instead. And this was wrapping up close. That should be a win there for the riflemen. There you go, absolutely shredding them. North here, we got the paratroopers unleashing an ambush there against the paratrooper. They're stacking to heavy covers. The paratrooper Grenadiers are not quite getting the full cover bonus. There's some of the sticking out there. Are going to lose here at long range. Paratroopers moving up here, marching forwards in the centre there. Rifle squad rounded by the Panzer IV, number 2. Another machine gun there for 80hertz. He's lost one here to his opponent. That's awkward. Great though for Stowe. He's nice to call himself a pack and an MG42. Still surprised at the utter lack of light machine gun is going to do stuff from 80hertz. Captain here versus the Grenadiers. Paratroopers caught here by the Panzer IV. Increasing pressure in the centre of the east side there is exposed, and we can see that 80hertz is immediately going for it. Got the anti-tankers moving out there for Stowe. Grenadiers as the rifleman, Captain moving in. Captain under fire there. And push back here in the east. We got the Major being held down by the MG42. 2 kills on the MG42 there. Vets need to as well. Don't send any armor piercing rounds. Bit of a slip there, I think, by Ed 80hertz. Always a good ability to use at the right time. And we finally got the final upgrade for the Paratroopers. In this case, they're forming up a bazooka team. So it's got 2 Thompson squads and 1 bazooka team. Certainly an interesting mix there. From Stowe. Certainly an interesting mix. Panzer going westwards. And they're going to tank guns, and the bazookas could spell a swift doom here for the Panzer IVs if they hit. And there you go, down to roughly half health. Paratroopers against the Pioneers are going to be shredding them in a matter of seconds. Looks like the Panzer will get away. And they're going to on the hand, do not get away. They get absolutely decimated there by the Paratroopers at close range. Panzer IV there taking damage, bazookas flying at it. And tanks coming up as well. Their shot bounces pretty lucky there for 80hertz, but then he makes a mistake, pushes the Panzer IV hit. There might have been a pathing mistake all the way though. That is one mistake. The Panzer IV will not survive. Nasty blow there to 80hertz. Need to bring in more armor. Flak punch with the Grenadier. Another option if you consider actually going for a howitzer for some artillery support versus all the anti-tank guns and whatnot. That could be an idea as well for 80hertz. We'll see what he ends up with. Bomb grenade there, but at the same time, Captain Machine being flanked here by the Captain. Back here, healing force from 80hertz. Panther 4, they needed repairs. We got 393 with 223, and we got another sham there for Stowe. Finally happening with some more armor. Panther Squad about to get wiped out. They've been a bit awkward there for at 80hertz, and it could still become awkward. There's got the Captain watching the retreat path. Machine gun suppressing the Purge, but he's increasing the Panther with his chance of making it back home and not getting actually wiped. There we go. Purge was pinned to the ground. More grenadiers for 80hertz. No Panzer grenadiers. I mean, if he's not going to upgrade the light machine guns, it really should just stick to Panzer grenadiers, to be honest. Got Ravenous grenadiers here. We got another Sherman almost done. Well, the Sherman almost done there for Stowe. Almost, but not quite. Rifling about. West side there under control of the Americans. Predator squad quickly skedaddling out of there. Still no more. I'm afraid 80hertz the manpower bleeds time to become a bit severe here. Definitely needs to be a bit more cautious about that. As it could be one way Stowe could quickly get back in the fight here versus 80hertz in a more serious fashion. He already has a larger force, in fact, than 80hertz, so 80hertz definitely needs to be a bit more mindful of things. Major routed in the center there. We got machine gunners holding up here, but again, without that machine upgrade, they are a bit limited what they can do. A machine gun saves the day slightly. In fact, pin down the paratroopers. In east, the Panther 4 charging anyone on here for half an tank guns and rushes straight into the tank rifle grenade. Gets lucky again with some bounces there. In the west, we got movement here from Stowe with Shermans and paratroopers and the Captain as well. Troops reinforcing. Nothing further happening in terms of armor here for 80hertz. Stowe Shermans move there, catching 80hertz, laying down multiple less than fuel point and putting a stop to that. Crap triggery. Full retreat here in the east. There you go. Paratroopers going for the tactical assault here. Doing some heavy damage to the Grenadiers, shredding them in a matter of moments, allowing them, I think, there's a good chance of getting a wipe on the retreating units. Pioneer squad down, could be a blow here. We got a Stuka prepared. No, goes for the Ostman instead. With no anti-tank guns versus an opponent with tanks, I'm not entirely sure that's going to be the greatest idea of 80hertz. I mean, Ostman is great, but I think he should go for the Stug or the Ostwind and then go for the Ostwind once he's got the Stug out, but that's just me. Also, he really bad needs to upgrade those Grenadiers. Bit of an attack up here, Grenadiers moving in, roughing it off, very nice. Panther almost good to go there for 80hertz, Flak Panther almost done. No pin-up machining upgrade there for the Shem, probably good to know that. Paratroopers moving in, 16 kills here. And there you go, Paratrooper squad hitting the flank there, wiping out the MD-42 to the tactical assault. Nice work there by Stowe. Another punch to the gut there of 80hertz and the 15th Panzer Grenadiers. As Stowe and the 2nd Armament is very much on the move. Flak Panther to that, though, of course, need to be careful not to drive straight into the Sherman there. Remaining machine gun up here in ambush mode to defend the eastern fuel point. Is remaining lifeline of resources here versus the Americans, as Stowe is increasingly becoming more and more dominant across the entirety of the map here. Gonna need some armor support up in the eastern side rapidly. Touching heavy damage here. Flak Panther with the machine gun. Paratroopers right on the move, need to cover the Panther 4. Charging in the Ostwind, I think too far there. Bit of a mistake there about 80hertz. Might have been a misclick, might have been a pathing error, either way. Damage engine on the Flak Panther being pursued by the Paratroopers. Of course, got the anti-tank guns as well. A significant blow there to 80hertz as his Flak Panther combusts. He is now in a pretty tight position here again versus Stowe. And the lack of Grenadier upgrades is just baffling at this point. Not entirely sure why he wouldn't upgrade them. Machine gun holds the line here by the eastern fuel point valiantly, but I think there's limits to how much it can hold there. There's no tanks inbound here in the west. Grenadiers versus the Captain. Grenadiers pushed away. Unupgraded and with no veterans, so there's not really much the Grenadiers could do on their own versus a veteran Captain with bars. Moving in there. Captain finally routed. Grenadiers moving ahead, got 31 kills on them, quite impressive really. Considering they haven't been upgraded when they think except ambush. Paratroopers hitting reinforcing, we got 17 kills there, we got 23. Got 9. 80hertz is going to need a Strook, but he's also going to need more infantry, and he really needs to upgrade those grenadiers. Straight to the Sherman, we got 304 versus 19. Panther almost good to go here for Ed80hertz. Another Panther one away from another Panzerkampfwagen 4 as we got the paratroopers in there pretty much expecting where the main thrust is coming from Ed80hertz. So that's the paratroopers to throw themselves into the path of advance here from Ed80hertz and just demolish him. Oh, we got Panther shakes up. Further, I think cutting down one of its major anti-infantry counters in the Panther grenadiers. Obviously going to help him more versus the armor, but I feel like right now one of the major issues right now for 80hertz is honestly all the infantry and the anti-tank guns. And honestly, unupgraded Panther grenadiers is probably one of your better bets for dealing with those. So I feel like at this point that's a bit of a tactical mistake that made 80hertz. If you really wanted more to attack at this stage, you'd probably just gone for Stubes rather than another Panzer IV. Troops are reinforcing, healing, got the Pioneers moving towards the centre. What happened firing away there? Round about the western fuel. Panzers walking caught by the captain. In the centre we got the machine gun ambushing several American infantrymen and ruthlessly mowing them down. Paratroopers on the move here. Stove lining up for an assault to clear out their chum there. Going counter to the Panzers. The rockets fly and only one really connects here. Panzer IV moving in. Shoots and gets a good hit on the Sherman. Put it down to half health. Of course, anti-tank gets very quickly found themselves brought up here. And in the centre we got to push forwards. Only to encounter the heavy machine gun team there. And without any light machine guns themselves, they have no real way of overcoming the gunner sort of consistently. Panther pursuit of the bazooka paratrooper. The paratrooper themselves are taking a bit of a beating in the process. And ultimately, Stove decides to call them back. Going here for the machine gun, only to encounter Pack 40 there. Plus, we got paratroopers going in for flanking the grenadiers. Gonna probably try and aim for a wipe here against 80hertz again. But machine gun has been forgotten, and of course, the machine gun has not forgotten how the Americans look like and immediately began suppressing them. And all while this is happening, got a bit of movement here on the right hand side there with the Major grabbing up whatever's left there from 80hertz and the 15th Panzer Grenadier. And he's being slowly cut right by the captain. Again, the bars they just providing with so much more firepower, which the Grenadiers can't really match. Going in for the Major in the side with the Panther, the Pioneers, the Grenadiers. From the 40 versus on 19. Ooh. Major gets very lucky there. Dodges every S-mine there. That's got to feel a bit bad there for 80hertz. That's got to feel a bit bad. Machine gun ambushing. Sadly, it's a Sherman and not infantry, in which case the machine gun stands absolutely no chance. It just gave its position. In the eastern advance of the eastern victory point, encounters severe resistance from another machine gun there, this time manned by paratroopers. Bad news for an infantry running into that. Got the rifle moving ahead there. Good hit from the Panther IV, gaining virtually 2 on Schutzen. Sadly, his assault is not making much progress. Meanwhile, he's losing the west side again, so don't think this was the tactically most sound move here by 80hertz against Stove. In fact, he's charging right into the anti-tank gun. We got the Sherman flanking in there as well. And now they're taking to flank here. This could quickly turn against 80hertz. Match momentarily to call in smoke, but he's not. And there you go. Panther IV down. Smoke bombs called in. But the situation has pretty much deteriorated too fast here for the smoke bombs. Right as there go. Bazooka team flanking in there. In fact, 2 bazooka teams demolishing the Panther IV in a matter of seconds. Sherman does go down, but I would say 2 Panther IVs, 1 Sherman is not a great trade-off. Bun grenade off though. Wipes the paratroopers. Gaining some messier vengeance, but the casualties still have been resoundingly high here for 80hertz and the 15th Panzer Grenadiers. Resoundingly high. Got the paratroopers again going for the flank. He, like Stoke, just knows how to flank. He knows how to use tactical assault, indicating he actually is an American player who knows his stuff. I mean, good lord, he just wiped 2 units there again. I'm surprised more American players aren't using paratroopers and tactical assault because it is a really good ability. Like, really good. It makes me wish the Stormtroopers still had the assault rifle, because this is effectively what it is, except I think actually slightly better than that. But even then, of course, tactical advance on the Stormtroopers is also really good. But yeah, this is better. So there you go. He's just wiped so many units with the paratroopers. Right now, 80hertz, I think, is in a bit of an abyss here. Pit. The walls are closing in. Stove's just laughing at him. Well, they are. Penfold going for straight for the paratroopers here. Threatening to wipe them out any moment. Two Grenadier squads, a Panzerjäger squad and a Panther 4 here versus a plethora of infantry there from Stove, tanks, anti-tank guns, machine guns, and whatnot. Like, 80hertz chances of coming back from this now, I would say, is very small. It's going to rely on a lot of luck. And Stove, and either that or he's pulling off some brilliant maneuvers, or Stove doing something really dumb. Northern point being seized by the Panzerjägers. Stove's just flooding the map now, as 80hertz really has very little to assist with. 142 versus 219. Panzer's going to repair. He's going to need replacement pioneers for that. Obviously, Gunny's being overwhelmed. The lack of light machines gun is utterly bizarre. More Grenadiers. I mean, again, if you're not going to upgrade them, just go for Panzer Grenadiers. I'd honestly say at this point, just go for Panzer Grenadiers. Then he's being slowly cut from the rifleman. No chance out in the open. Versus veteran free rifleman with bars. Sherman's heading out. And these have got the Panzerjägers moving ahead here. Bomb grenade there and gets a wild machine gun, but sadly can't explode any further. On the west side here, Karkov being hit there. Panther 4 being slowly fixed up for 80hertz. Meanwhile, the Stove's just in control of the rest of the map here. 28 and 22. Sherman charging plays alongside the Bazooka team there. Panther 4 there, down to half health already. Stove is just going straight for the jugular here. The killing blow. More Panthers on the way to 80hertz as the Pioneer realizes, you know, if he's not going to upgrade, he might as well just go for Panzer Grenadiers. But there you go, got a Panther fast off. Might have a chance of taking out the Sherman here because of backfire on 80hertz. One, both easily can't survive one more hit. Panzer plus Grenadiers, see we got the paratroopers in the way. Riflemen in the depleted, trying to cover up that Sherman as it retreats. Quickly getting out there with the Panzerjägers. Paratroopers are down to just 2 men. Still, the Panzerjägers been routed. This gives the Sherman a chance to escape. We got 78 versus 219. They have only 75 points remaining. Rocket straight for the ready as well for Stove. Try to fix up the Sherman. There you go. Panther 4 going for it. Both either miss or bounce. Panther with the Mink Pioneers. There you go. Air support called in. Sherman takes a hit, but so does the Panther 4. Paratroopers there getting some money, catching the Paratroopers there. Could get finished off with the Panther 4. There you go. Panther 4 gets it, but in its moments of glory gets knocked out by rocket strafe there from Stove. 51 versus 219. The problem is, of course, Stove can easily just fill in the gap with more tanks, whereas 80hertz is trying to fill up the gaps up with even, like, you know, stale bread. Pun's going to be charging ahead. They're using the spread ability. 2 sums up there to 80hertz, but right into the captain with all of that, I don't think it's going to matter much because they're across negative cover. We got 38 versus 219. 36. Pioneer's about to get annihilated there. And dead. And there you go, 80hertz surrenders. A loss here for Germany, a victory for Stove. A brutal battle here on Crossing in the Woods. Nice start there for Stove, then fell a bit behind there, so he made a mistake, and 80hertz getting some good kills, plus the 2 really gave him a boost there, plus the Telemann early help, but then So there were some strange mistakes there by Ed80hertz choice. Again, the lack of light machines like while still upgrading them with ambush camouflage. That was definitely, I think, hurtful. But also just some tactical maneuvers that really ended up costing Ed80hertz. Just really put him behind there. So, I mean, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this. Plus, of course, just the parody was like, it's just incredible. Like, they just did so much damage, some really powerful flank shooters and attacks as well. That was also, I think, really just big the size the game went on here for who had a chance in this match. So that's also really just big there for Storm, and he made great use of them. 2 thumbs up. But anyways, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thanks for watching. Hope you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.